Hello, Michael here. Welcome to another Hearthstone Witchwood card review. There we go. If that's not copyright, then I can keep my video upload. That would just be swell. The board does look pretty cool, in my opinion. I like it, yeah, especially like this tree. Let's get down to business. For the new cards released, these are all the cards before the final set reveal, which is gonna be another video on its own. So yeah, should be fun. The Witchwood release is on the 12th. The 12th is alright. That's Wednesday. Cool. Let's start. Spell Shifter, 2 mana, 1/4, spell damage each turn. This is in your hand. Stop its attack and health. I mean, you never play like spell damage means to get like that good of a trade, right? Like a 4/1, it's mostly pointless unless you play it. So let's say you play it as a 4/1 late game and then you do your spells. The same thing. Let's see if you have cast it as a 1/4, but you have a 4/1 on the board. Well, late game a 1/4 is pretty pointless. Is a 4/1 better than a 2/2 or a 1/1 that draws a card? No. So next, this one. Swift Messenger, 4 mana, 2/6 rush, 3 turns in your hand, stop its attack and health. So it's a 4 mana, 2/6, so it's like the knight, but it's way better. Yeah, that card is just horrible. The stats are really bad. But the 2/6 rush actually has enough health to get enough good trades against like board centric decks early on, like Paladin, like Mage, something like that. Like that shit's gonna do really well. And then later on, you just use it as a 4 mana 6/2 rush, so it's a 4 mana deal 6 damage removal. That's actually great. So besides like, a 6/2 is good, as a 2/6 is pretty good, not as good as a 6/2, and it has like a lot of flexibility. I really like it. I think it's a pretty good card. Witchwood Piper, 4 mana 3/3, draw lowest cost minion from your deck. It's a 4 mana 3/3 draw card. We have a 4 mana 2/4 draw card. That's a play. That was just draw a random card. This one in a specific minion deck is gonna be really good, because you can get your big minions out instead of like drawing like small minions, which are pointless. Or you have a couple of small minions and you use the Witchwood Piper to just get them out of your deck, and then you only have big minions in your deck for a late game. So that can work. They should have like minions early on with like some sort of an effect that's useful. With like board, healing, taunt, something like that. This card is just really great. Just depends on what deck you put it in. What's really okay. So yeah, I think this card is great. It's 4 mana to draw a card. Gillian Royal Guard, 8 mana 3/8 Divine Shield Rush. Each turn, yeah, it swaps its attack and health. The Swift Messenger is way better, because for 4 mana you just get 2 more attack, right? When it switches. Okay, it's mostly an arena card just because it's so expensive, and an 8 mana 3/8 Divine Shield Rush, like you play it, it gives only 3 attack. It's a 3/8. Definitely think it's way better. It's definitely best as an 8/3 killing a big minion. But at that point, if you want to kill a minion that big, it's just better to use some hard removal. Costs less mana, you can combo it with board clears with another minion. It's just a bit too expensive, it just doesn't have enough value for like a late game minion that you have to have in your deck. Also sometimes it won't work on the really big minion, at least the messenger, by the time you play it, it has enough value. Witch's Cauldron, 3 mana 0/4, after friendly minion dies, add a random challenge spell to your hand. It's a cool card, but ultimately Play this, but it does have a combo with a card later on that destroys your totems and gains power. You can like play Witch's Cauldron, have like 3 totems up, and you play this and get 3 shaman spell cards. That's actually stop. Wait, you can't even play that, but that's gonna be an odd deck. Or is that even? No, I think it's even, right? Yeah, no, my bad. So yeah, I think you can't really even play with that. So that was the only thing I could have thought of. So this card is kind of pretty bad. Voodoo, 3 mana, 1/1, battle card, choose a minion, defile, destroy the chosen minion. I think this card is great. I don't know if it's as good as people think, but I think this card is just really good. Like a 3 mana 1/1, you can use some cheeky way to kill it. Like it's just a hard removal you can add to any class. That's great. I think it's like cheap hard removal. I see like in like mage you can just fire blast it and you have Jane out, you can ping it, you can always on defile turns, like on already defile turn, let's say you have like 7 mana, you have a Siphon Soul and like they have like a bunch of other minions, small minions, like what the fuck are you gonna do? You're just gonna die by the rest of them. You can like tap, you get your Voodoo Doll, you Voodoo Doll the big minion, then you defile, it activates the first defile. So you can go directly to 2, it kills the big minion, and clears the board. I think this card is really good, but it might not find a place, but if it does, it's gonna be really great in that deck. I feel it in my body. Mossy Horror, 6 mana, 2/7, destroy all other minions with 2 or less attack. This effect is pretty good, but by turn 6 you have already cleared out a lot of minions. Unless it's a constant swarm deck that keeps throwing things at you. So I think if you put this in your deck, you put in a deck that already has board clears to have some early pressure to make sure your opponent doesn't play too many minions, and like you play some garbage shit on the board and you try to reach to turn 6 and you play this. I definitely can see one of in some decks, in some control decks. But it might not be good enough to put. I mean, it does have some pretty good value because you attach the Shadow Ward the Horror to a 2/7, which is a pretty good body, but on turn 6 as 2/7 is kind of shit, right? Yeah, I guess in an aggro deck maybe you can like taunt it some way. You can like Argus it, but I mean if you run Argus in like a control deck, it's pointless, right? So I don't know, you could see some play. Organ Abomination, 7 mana, 6/6, at the end of your turn deal 2 damage to other minions, damage minions. This card is pretty good. 7 mana, 6/6, you deal 2 damage AoE. You can finish off minions. I don't think it's bad. People say this card is horrible and constructed. I do see this pretty bad. It's like a Baron Geddon. And just Geddon might just be better. You know, Geddon is not really run in a lot of decks. Just comes in and out. So by the fact that by the fact that Geddon is a better card, this has probably no way seen playing constructed, but it's not a bad card. I think it's a pretty strong card. But you know, just if you have Geddon, why would you play this card? That's kind of the conundrum. Splitting Fester, 8 mana 4/4, summon 2 saplings, which both of them when they die they spawn 2 1/1s. Yeah. This card has a lot of like stats. It's an 8 mana 12/12 pretty much in value, which is great. But no, a silence would destroy this card. And when I think about the Violet Worm, which is an 8 mana 7/7, if that card got silent, it sucked. But it still was a 7/7 on board, which could clobber you, right? And I guess the advantage of Splitting Fester is like, well, it died and it has 2/2/2s. They have to like clear those, and there is a 1/1/1s. And when a Violet Worm dies, you just have the 1/1s, which can die to 1 board clear, right? But thing is, if a board clear is not used, the Violet Worm is just better. I don't see. I mean, this card is a really good card with a lot of value, but I think like Violet Worm just seems better. Of course, Violet Worm has disadvantage. Sometimes you can't play cards, which sucks. But I don't know. I feel this card is good, but don't think it's good enough to put us on like your big drop. It's also really slow. It does nothing. At least. Like, you can play this and your opponent can just like, alright, whatever, just draw some cards, do some other things, ignore it. When you play a Violet Worm, it's a 7-7 who can deal a lot of damage, just a 4-4. I don't know, I don't think it's gonna be good in constructed, but it's gonna be a pretty good arena card. Dual Master Dorian, 5-mana 2/6, whenever they draw a minion, someone want one copy of it. I think this card is just pretty good. The stats are, well, good enough to keep this card alive. And if you play it on certain with minion-specific draws, like that card, like the 4-mana 3/3 draw card, I think with this card with like minion-specific, it's gonna be crazy. Because you know you get your minions, and your minions have the effect you want them to have because you put them in your deck. I think this card is gonna be, if it finds a deck, it's gonna be really good in it. Also, it's a fun card, so you can like meme with it if you want. But I think it's gonna be a pretty good card if like minion-specific draw. Countess Ashmore, 7-mana 6/6, Battlecry, draw Rush, Lifesteal, and Death Rattle card from your deck. So, we're gonna look at. Oh, but I just randomly got Tyrannus, so free pack. Fun. Okay. So, we're gonna look at 8 drops that you can play after Countess because it's like a curator. But the Curator feels just better because it has Taunt. That Taunt was actually pretty insane because you would play Curator. Your opponent would throw minions into it, kill it, maybe like a big one or a small ones. And then whatever was left alive, because you draw a Dragon, Murloc, and Beast, you would either have the Quelite Oracle or you'd have the... what's the name of that card? How did I forget? The Drake. Dragon. Primordial Drake. You have Curator and Primordial Drake, which would clear the board and set up another taunt. Or you would play the card like Seer? No, the card like the corrupted something, right? I can't remember the name of that card. So you have 2 board clears. Now, this card is just gonna be good enough if the Rush, Lifesteal, and Death Rattle cards that you can draw are good enough to offset the thing that you fucked up because you played a 7-mana 6/6 that did nothing. So, you have Ancient of War, you have Big Taunt. This is not a good card. You have Scenarios, but you can't play it the next turn, so out. You have Grizzled Guardian, that's pretty good. Hunter, you have King Crush, no good. Because why would you do that? Have Sindragosa. Nope. Moving on. Wait, actually, what the fuck am I talking about? It has to be Rush, Lifesteal, and Death Rattle. So, yeah, so you have Grizzled Guardian, right? Sorry, no, I said Ancient Wars. You have Grizzled Guardian. Wait, can you draw a Lifesteal card? I don't know if you can draw Jaina. No, I don't think it works. So, you can draw Tyrion, that's pretty good. Right, that's good. You can draw Obsidian Statue, that's really good, but you can't play it on 8. So, you can get that here? No, Rush, Fine Shield, Death Rattle, nope, so can't. You can get out here. You can get Void Lord, but who cares? Right, you already got it out of your deck. So, nope. Yeah, you see my problem. And like, what are you gonna draw to stabilize? There's gonna need to be some pretty good, like, big Rush, Lifesteal, and Death Rattle cards for this card to be good. Because if you can't stabilize on turn 8 well enough after you play the 7-mana 6/6 that didn't do anything to the board, it's gonna be rough. Because if your opponent's board is cleared, well, it can't really be cleared. Let's say then before you cleared it, they just play 1 minion, you're pretty good tell if you play Countess Ashmore. They play 1 spell, they remove it efficiently. They have like a 6-drop in play, or maybe 2-3 drops. They punch you in the face, then they play something big. That would be like 4 to play, like 4-drop. So the board is straight enough. If you have another board clear that you have to use turn before, you feel like you win more cards because it doesn't have the sorry, it doesn't have something to like come back. That's my main problem. Warrior, Woodcutter's Axe, 2-mana 2/2. Death Rattle will give 2+2/+1 to random friendly rush. This card is just insane. It's a common. Everybody's gonna have. It's a 2-mana 2/2, which we know those are stupidly good. And effect is really good, so I think a Rush Warrior is just gonna auto-include this card. It works great for Militia Commander with Darius Crowley especially. I just think this card is crazy, so there's not much to talk about. In like a mid-range Rush deck, might be a thing. Fester Root Hulk, 5-mana 2/7 after friendly minion attacks, give +1 attack. So let's say it's turn 10, you play Fester Root Hulk, you have 2 minions in play, you can attack both those, it becomes 5-mana 4/7, then you play like a Rush minion, it's a 5-mana 5/7. That's really good. So if the turn you play it can at the very least be a 3/7 when you play it with a Rush minion. When it attacks, it's gonna buff itself. Right, so it can start snowballing as a game. It's a 5-mana 7 health minion. It's great. I think this card is pretty good in my opinion. Depends like if this card and a couple more can make a mid-range warrior that can beat aggro and beat control, right? We need to see if that's a possibility. But this card for that deck is just great. Town Crier, 1-mana 1/2, Battle Cry, draw a Rush minion from your deck. So 1-mana 1/2, draw a card. It's fucking bonkers. And it's also a specific card. So when you play it, you know you're gonna get a Rush minion, which can attack the board immediately to save your ass. I think this card is just fucking bonkers. Too bad it's epic, but actually that's kind of really sucks. It's an epic, because you kind of really need this for a Rush deck. That's kind of odd. Deadly Arsing, 6-mana, reveal a weapon from your deck till its attack to all minions. Well, unless there's a common weapon, this is gonna blow dick, because it seems fucking worthless. So 6 mana, it's a worse Dragon Fury. This card is fucking horrible. Like, yeah, I really don't like it. If you're looking for a board clear, just find something else. No, it's horrible. Warlock. Dustbat, 3-mana 2/4. If your hero took damage this turn, summon 2 1/1 bats. If you can play this with like a coin on turn 3, like Flame Imp, coin, Dustbat, this card is fucking mental. It's a 3-mana 2/4 with 2 1/1 bats. It's fucking amazing, right? This card's early game power is crazy, but you have to play it early game. You have to like, you can't play it on turn 3, never. I don't think you can ever play it on turn 3. But you can play on turn 4 with like another minion, so you can create a lot of tempo in one turn. So this card, if you can consistently damage yourself early on in the game and play it alongside something else, this card is gonna be amazing for like a Zoo deck. Blood Witch, 4-mana 3/6, and start your turn, deal 1 damage to your hero. Good stat, and it's supposed to synergize with if your hero took damage this turn, summon 2 1/1 bats. I don't think this card is good enough because we haven't yet see all the if your hero took damage this turn cards, and we're gonna need some more that actually offset your damage that you took, right? But synergize is very well with Death Web Fighter, 5-mana 4/6. Your hero took damage this turn, gain life here. A 5-mana 4/6 with life it's amazing. know why people are like, ah, this card sucks. That's actually really good stats. And you have lifesteal. And we know when lifesteal is put on a card, it takes a lot of stats out. But you only lose one attack from like the baseline. I think this card is just really good, and it's gonna be your healer for like, because you took your blood witch damage, your flaming thing. So it's gonna be like a warlock deck that's gonna curve a bit higher, and it's gonna emphasize on things that like hit you to have like, because things that hit you in the face also are inherently better, because they're like body and ability values higher. So you play a lot of things that can attack, like hit you, get a lot of power on the board tempo, and you have like a double spider to like massively heal you. I really like this concept. We're gonna need some more cards though. Right, this card I was talking about. Totem Crusher, 4 mana, 2/3 taunt. Battle card, destroy your totem, gain +2/+2 for each destroyed. So, if you destroy one totem because you're gonna play it in an okay, wait, I need to remember what again was. Yeah, even, alright, cool. So this is a 5 mana for, because your hero person costs 1, it's gonna be a 5 mana 4/5 taunt. Horrible. It's gonna be a 6 mana 6/7 taunt. Ain't that bad. 7 mana 7 mana 8 9 taunt. It's pretty good. But the thing is, you put a lot of stats, you kill your cards, and if it gets silenced, you cry or heart removed, because you not only because you destroy your totems. Okay, because thing is, because only cost your hero was gonna cost 1, you might just be able to play like a bunch of cards like willy-nilly without giving much of a shit. Because that might be a thing, because you have just too many totems for one. It just might be like whatever, right? So if you have like enough totems to like, I don't know what to do with them, they're just filling my board, getting like some big threats out of like just a 4 mana card is pretty good. You can get a lot of tempo out of it, right? Like you have a bunch of totems out, let's say the opponent has a board, just ignore your totems because you keep pressing that stupid button. You press your totem button, you roll the spell damage, you use a lightning storm, you clear the board, play totem crunch. That's amazing tempo. So I see some possibility in this card being good. Bulk Shaper, 7 mana 4/8 element. Whenever you cast a spell, draw minion from your deck. So it's supposed to like, well, it's a combo card, but it's supposed to use all the shitty cards you get from Hagatha and Witch's Apprentice to get your minions, so you can play with Hagatha to get more spells. So if Hagatha, if you play Hagatha, it's gonna be good, right? That's no question. But if you can't constantly get enough minion from to play with Hagatha, Bulk Shaper is gonna be a pretty good addition to use all those shitty spells you got from Witch's Apprentice and Hagatha. I think it's a pretty good card. That's a okay statted. Rogue. Blink Fox, 3 mana 3/3 beast, add a random card to your hand from your opponent's class. This card is just fucking bonkers. You synergize with your opponent's class and you get a 3 mana 3/3. There's not much to say about this card, it's gonna be an auto-include in every rogue deck. Pickpocket, 2 mana, Echo, add a random card from opponent's card to your hand from your opponent's class. Got confused. This card is fucking horrible. It's such a bad card, it's actually like, wow, like Rogue got some real shitty cards. Like a 2 mana game 1 card is fucking horrible. It's even random card, it's like 10 million times worse than the... Oh god, this card is so bad. Like, as the only way this will ever see play is if Mistwraith is good. Which you might not. Mistwraith, 4 mana 3/5, whenever you play an Echo card, gain +1/+1. So when you play it on turn 4, you can play it, and if it doesn't get removed, you can definitely like do some crazy things and snowball out. Which is not that crazy because people did play Fandral on turn 5 and on turn 4. If that didn't get removed, you kind of won the game or got such a big power boost. My thing is like, let's say it's turn 10, you play Mistwraith, you cheap shot 3 times. So that becomes a 6/8. So it's a 10 mana 6/8. Deal 2 damage 3 times to minions that you chose. That's pretty good. And on the following turn, you can like play like pickpocket like a couple of times to buff it a lot. That's the only time. That's the only way I see it. But it's on turn 10, and pickpocket is just such a bad card right there. Spectral Cutlass for mana 2/2 lifesteal. Whenever you play a card from another class game on durability, it's a 4 mana 2/2 weapon. Guys, fucking sucks. Like if you're gonna play weapon buffs, you play Kingsbane. The only reason this card would ever be playable is if Kingsbane rotates out. If Kingsbane rotates out, stacking buffs on Spectral Cutlass, it's not only not sustainable enough because I don't know how many cards you'll get. In order to put cards from your opponent's class into your hand, are gonna start moving to wild. Like baseline, this card is shit. Even though it's a, let's say you play one card, it's a 4 mana 2/3 lifesteal. Wow, amazing. Takes 3 turns to heal for 6. This card blows dick. Next, Death Great Main 8 mana 6/6. Replay every card from another class you played this game. That is just randomly. So this card either might be just insane or just might be a fun card. But you can play minions. So let's say you got some minions from Blink Fox and Hallucination. You can like play those. They are like pretty good effects. Then when you play Tez Greymane, you just create a massive board. It's like a second stuff for like a Gul'dan sort of like power level. And you can like maybe like also get some board credit because you choose what card you play, right? So let's say you get you're against Paladin, you get the Inequality Consecration. You play those against one of his boards. Later on, they have like a big board. You can play Tez Greymane, and you know she's gonna Equality Consecrate. I think it's the order you play these cards. You're gonna Equality Consecrate, wipe the enemy's board. You still have a 6/1, and then you might like summon minions. I think this card can be insane if, like, with just Blink Fox and Hallucination. Let's say like from your opponent. No. So Shaku gets it's out. Undercity is out. Swashbuckler, it's out. So you lose 3 very important cards. Like Swashbuckler was a really good card. Undercity Hustler, really good card. Shaku the Collector, really good card. So you lose 3 really important cards. You do have Lillian Voss left over, which that can be, if you have like a bunch of like stupid spells, that's gonna be good. But you lose 3. Problem is, these were early game cards that gave you value, and that was really important for Ro because you would lose a lot of tempo like trying to play these. But with these 3 cards, you actually had like a good curve and gave you some tempo, which was really important. So yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work. But Tess might just want to Blink Fox and Hallucination. We'll see. I think this card is also really just great, in my opinion. Holy Water, 5 mana deal 4 damage to minion. If that kills it, add a copy of it to your hand. 5 mana to deal 4 is kind of like only to a minion. It's kind of pretty weak removal, but it is removal that is like, well, I don't have to use Shadow or Death. Or the sort of removal that, well, let's say you use Holy Nova, you like clear off the small minions, and you have like 1 big minion left, so you can Holy Water it. It does generate a lot of value. So killing, let's just say it's a 5-drop that has 4 health, right? You're slowly watering it, you kill it, it's a 5 for 5, it's a 1 for 1, and you get 1 card back. So that's really good value. It's a really slow card that kind of has to be comboed with other things, to be really good. But I don't think it's a bad card. It might be a slow card that needs a specific deck to be good. Paladin, a lot of things. Paragon of Light just got released. or like a couple hours ago. 3 mana 2/5 has taunt and lifesteal while it has 3 or more attack. Man, this card is just, whoo, boy, that's a sexy card. Hand buffs are moving out because this card for hand buff, it's a 3 mana 3/6 taunt lifesteal, which might just be the most broken thing to ever come out of my mouth. Like, holy shit, that's just insane. Like, this card with hand buffs is fucking amazing. But they are moving out, so depends on what can buff. It has 3 or more attack. It does work with Direwolf Alpha. You can just put the Alpha near it and it does it taunt and lifesteal to protect it. Divine Strength is one. It creates a 3/7 taunt lifesteal against aggro that's just gonna destroy them if they don't have lifesteal. A lot of aggro decks have lifesteal. It works with Sword of Justice, if that's what you want to do. It works with Archer's Veteran. That's a pretty good card. Right. Of course, so like Cleric and those things, I don't know how good they are. It works with Argus, but the taunt is kind of wasted. It works with Cobalt Scalebane, that might be pretty good, that's an interesting one. Does work with Bowmare, and like if you can always play it's a 3 mana 2/5, you can always play it on turn 3 and then on turn 4 buff it later on. It's fine, right? I think this card is just bonkers. Bellringer Sentry, 4 mana 3/4, backcry and death rather put a secret from your deck into the battlefield. This card is insane, of course. But if it's because there are only 4 good secrets, I don't know if it's gonna be that insane because Call to Arms is just better. But if this card right here is a secret, well, one, Paladin is gonna get real bad in Arena because Sound the Bell, well, maybe not, Path Rebuke. So if this is a good secret, I think Bellringer Sentry is gonna be insane card. Just like you can like play this, you get a redemption, they kill it, you get another secret, you get Bellringer Sentry back, then like they kill the Bellringer Sentry again, but I think you pull out was another redemption. It pulls out like a get down, then he attacks into it, then it doesn't work. You just thinned out your deck of cards, got like amazing tempo on the board. I think this card is amazing. Silver Sword, 8 mana 3/4 after your hero attacks, gives your minions +1/+1. The first one is like, that's just horrible. And the effect, like, is that effect that good? And like, if you have a big board, this effect is actually insane. But it's an 8 mana 3/4 weapon, which is fucking horrible. The 3 is like the actual weapon itself is really pointless. It's just like, who cares? Who gives a shit? A 3/4 on turn 8 is such bad tempo. If you don't have enough minions, card is horrible. Like, I think Vine Cleaver is just better. I don't see a point running this over Vine Cleaver. Catheter Gargoyle, 2 mana to do if you're holding a Dragon, gain Taunt and Divine Shield. Well, I don't recall many dragons, but well, thing is, if this is a dragon, then this card gets better, but it's worse. But if this is a dragon, then that might be pretty good because it's a mini bot with taunt, so it just fucks aggro in the ass. Like turn 1 Righteous Protector, turn 2 Cathedral Gargoyle, it's just so annoying. So if there are enough dragons to support this card is gonna be fucking amazing. The Glass Knight, 4 mana 4/3 Divine Shield, which is baseline really good, by the way. Never restore health, gain Divine Shield. You can at the very least get Divine Shield once back, and if you just get like a baseline, it's just got a good card, but it's not unfair. If you get 1 Divine Shield, this card is gonna be really good. Or like a mid-range control paladin, this card is just insane. I love it. H, Bonfire Elemental. 5 mana 5/5 Elemental. If you play an Elemental last turn, draw a card. This is like, well, don't run Arcane Intellect, just run Bonfire Elemental. It's like the way of like Elemental just being self-sustained without spells. Which, I mean, the card itself is a 5 mana 5/5 draw card. Which is not at all bad. It's also an Elemental activates for the Elemental synergy. It's a pretty okay to good card. I think it's gonna fit into Elemental Mage, so they don't have to run Arcane Intellect. A Book of Spectres, draw 3 cards, discard any spells drawn. This card is bonkers, it's a 2 mana draw 3. In an Elemental deck, this card is so broken. It's just, oh my god, this card is amazing. And even if you discard the card, it's still a 2 mana draw 2, which is fucking amazing. I think this card is just like great. Like, I don't see how this card is bad ever. Arcane Kismet, 4 mana 2/2, battle card, discover a secret, put into the battlefield. Jesus, why have you forsaken us? Like, yesterday it was your rebirth. I thought you came back happier, less salty like me. I thought we could be friends, but you created this abomination. This card is so stupid. The card is so stupid. Why did they create this? It's a 1 mana 2/2. You get a secret. And it's really flexible. It doesn't even need to be a secret from your hand, from your like deck, because you don't want to push shitty secrets. So if you're losing, we're playing like a tempo sort of like mage, you can just play this card. It's also a good way to play it in an elemental deck to get some protections. This card is just insane. Archmage Argal, 2 mana 2/2. Whenever you draw a minion, add a copy of it to your hand. It just works great with elemental, with Book of Spectres. It just creates a lot of value, which is the main thing elemental needs. Elemental deck needs value. That's what they need, right? And this card provides a lot of value. So yeah, it's pretty good. Also, it's really cheap, so you can combo it with like draw. Toki, the Tiny Tinker, 6 mana 5/5, battle cry, add a random legendary minion from the past to your hand, so it's a wild card. Which this card might just be horrible. It's a 6 mana 5/5, so the turn you play it is really weak. But you can get, on average, you're gonna get either a good, like on average, you're gonna get a good card, which that means it's a pretty good value card. But you can sometimes even get shit minions like whatever, who cares? But there's like a 20%, like it's like 25% of like cards that are like bonkers. Like imagine you play Toki, then you get Dr. Boom, and can play it afterward. That's gonna be such a crazy play. Like this card has a chance of high rolling. It's a pretty good value card, so it might see some play. Or it just might be a fun card, but who knows. Hunter. Dire Frenzy, give a beast +3/+3, shuffle 3 copies into your deck with +3/+3. So, if you can play it on like a Huffer, that's of course amazing. Playing it on any charge is just really good. It's a pretty good path, even if you play like it's like a Kings. It's a -1 Kings. I gives you an effect later on, so a bit quicker on the board, but creates later tempo. Because you guys just get some really high value cards that are crazy. If you play this, so it's turn 5. You played the boar, you Dire Frenzy it, for 5 mana you get a 4/4 charger. That's actually pretty good because Druid of the Colloid is a good card. So you get 2 cards, you get something good. You play Tol'vir Warden, you draw 2 boars that are both 1 mana 4/4 chargers. It's just fucking insane. So I think this card with like cheap charge minions is just insane. Or like cheap like beasts that have good value, like good effects. Wing Blast, deal 4 damage to a minion. If a minion dies this turn, it costs 1. So this is a good way to alleviate a slight tempo loss from Dire Frenzy. It's a 1 mana deal 4 to a minion. This card is just insane. Even if played as 4 mana deal 4, like let's say they have like a 4 drop with 4 health, like a pretty good card. Then play Wing Blast, kill it, like cool, whatever. But if you can get a tempo out of it, this card is just insane. Love it. Rat Trap, 2 mana, 6 that your opponents play 3 cards and turn 7/6/6 rat. I think this card has such It's such a specific card that targets such a specific like aggro meta, and not only meta, a specific aggro deck. I think it's gonna be unplayable for the most part. I think this card is horrible. 3 cards are a lot, and like if your opponent attacks, he can like understand. Oh, that's Rat Trap. Then I don't play. I play a card. I'll play instead of playing 2/1 drops. I just play a 2-drop and just play around your Rat Trap. So I think this card is fucking horrible. It's such a horrendous card. It's so epic. So it sucks. I got all the 3 cards. Ferocious Howl. 3 mana, draw a card, gain 1 armor for each card in your hand. This card is amazing. If you have 5 cards in your deck, in your hand, including this one, it's a shield block for druids, which is great because they won't draw, and shield block is a really good card. Anything more than that, this card is just better and better. It not only works in a hand druid, but it works in a control like and combo druid to just get you some card draw and a lot of armor. This card is just insane. Next, Druid of the Site, 3 mana 2/2, choose one, transform into a 4/2 with Rush or a 2/4 with Taunt. So a 2/4 with Taunt, we know it's bad, but it's a beast, so it has some slight synergy, but it's mostly going to be played for a 3 mana 4/2 with Rush to get some cheap, get some removal because druids suck. They only have Wrath and Swipe, and sometimes you kind of want to save Swipe. So instead of using Swipe, you get Druid of the Site. It's going to be pretty good for like doing just that. And if like you're desperate and they have like a big minion and the 4/2 with Rush won't kill it, you just play a 2/4 Taunt and just hope to Jesus. So I think it's a pretty decent value card. It's gonna be good in arena. Bewitch Guardian, 5 mana 4/1 Taunt. Battlecry, gain +1 health for each card in your hand. So it's Twilight Drake, but you pay 1 more mana and you get Taunt, which is a really big deal because sometimes you play the Drake and you start like punch your opponent in the face, but your opponent's like, ah, who cares? They start punching you in the face because they're aggro deck. It always feels bad against aggro decks because you have to play cards to mitigate the aggro. Then your Twilight Drake when you play Turn 4 is kind of shitty, so it doesn't really matter at all. But this one, like, this comes 1 turn later, you can have more cards in your hand, it's gonna have Taunt, it's gonna be insane. So I think this card is a really good, like, again, just staller for like druids without cards in their hand. We talked about those. Duskfall Aviana, 5 mana 3/7. On each player's turn, the first card they played costs 0. Unless you can have like a really complicated way of getting this card out and playing a card alongside it, I think it's fucking horrible. Like, I don't see the point of playing it. I think it's gonna be either like a very, very, very specific combo deck, or just a fun card. So yeah, probably dust it. Splinter Grafts, 8 mana 8/8, the friendly minion. Add a 10/10 copy to your hand that costs 10. So it depends. You want a minion with an effect, right? That's what you want. You want something that has a good effect when you play it. It of course gonna work amazingly in Wild with Molten Giant, because you can play Molten Giant, Splinter Grafts, 10/10 Molten Giant, create a big turn. Because cost 8, probably the best is gonna be play with a Boar. Play Boar, you Splinter Grafts it. Your turn is kind of whatever. It's kind of really stupid because it's an 8 mana 8/8 that doesn't do anything on the board, but you get a lot of value out of it because you get a 10 mana 10/10 charger. So that's gonna be pretty good. And then you pretty much have like a Pyroblast, or you have something that way to like remove creatures to like alleviate for the tempo loss. I know the tempo loss on this card might be just too big to be viable, but it's just gonna be a lot of fun to play with it. It's gonna be interesting. Hey, that was all the cards. Nice. Well, we're gonna wait for the final card reveal stream, which is gonna be in 10 hours. So it's gonna be at 8. No, it's gonna be at 9 because there's 30 minutes there. So yeah, well, that was fun. Thanks for watching. and see you soon with the final card reveal. Bye! Review, I mean.